Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. Are we officially live?
We are officially live.
All right, cool. Well, welcome guys to this week's Friday AR Live. Um, Always start off this way, but if we provide any feedback, any value, anything that you can kind of run with and go take and go implement inside of your business today on this call or in any of the other videos on our channel, we'd love to earn your subscription on YouTube. We've like tripled our subscriptions. Felicity and I were just talking about that in the last month, 2 months. So we really appreciate you guys and you guys all kind of hanging out in our community, being a part of our little world. We would love to earn it if you haven't earned it yet. So today, we're going to dive into kind of recapping the client calls that we had for our community this week. Now, if you don't know, AR clients get access to a social media strategy and training call every single week and a sales strategy and training call every single week. Now, you might be wondering, aren't you guys a software company? Why are you talking about social media and sales? And the reality is you can have the most awesomest, coolest Cadillac of a software ever, but if you don't know how to post on social media to get leads into it, doesn't matter, right? And if you don't know how to close those leads on sales calls whenever they come in, it doesn't matter. So we provide these extra few hours a week of sales and social media trainings so that we can help our community, we can just pour into them and help them continue to develop in these areas. So let's kind of recap, I think, the social call, which Mr. Kevin Valance, one of our coaches on the AR team, led this week, and I thought it was a really good one. And I know, Felicity, you were kind of on the sales call, so we'll dive into that next. But really what Kevin focused on for this week's social media call was the book. And you might have read this back whenever we kind of made it a team requirement. I don't remember if that was right before or after you joined the team, Felicity, but do you remember Story Brand by Donald Miller?
No, I
Have you
don't.
read that book? Okay.
No, I haven't.
So, building a story brand, I think, is the actual name of the book. There's a couple of versions out for it now because it was written a while back, but very, very good book if you guys haven't read it. It basically talks about the journey and how you should position your brand as a storyteller. All right. And it talks about the main concept in the book, and the main takeaway of the book is you should not be the hero of your brand story, right? Your client, your prospect, the person that's buying from you is the hero. You are the guide. So in every good story, if you think about any good story that kind of goes along, there's always one person that is more so supporting or guiding, right? There's that mentor that they go back to after they fail and they come back and they're all like, they hit rock bottom and they go back to their mentor, and that mentor is like helping get them back on their feet, motivating them to get back out there and go take this action. That's what we are. We are that person for our online personal training clients, right? Online coaching clients. So the mistake a lot of people make on social media is you position yourself as the hero, right? I'm the thing that you're buying. I'm the thing that you're trying to be. I'm the journey that I'm selling here. And that's, although you do want to show your journey, you want to show your journey so that you can let people know you have the experience to guide them to be the hero of their story. So that was a big chunk of kind of what Kevin was covering in the social call this week. And there's one thing in particular. I made everybody stop and take a screenshot of this training slide. Maybe I'll just show it for a split second. I don't know how it's going to look on our software here. Requesting to bypass the system. Okay, let's go. Can you see this, Felicity?
I can see it. It's small on my screen. I'm gonna wait. Yeah, it's really tiny on the YouTube live
Okay.
for some reason.
Let me try one more thing. See if this is a possibility.
Let's see.
Does it look better?
It looks a lot better on my screen here, and I guarantee you it'll look better on the YouTube live. Could you present it so that it's even bigger?
Present it. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
No, I don't think I can because I don't own this. So
Okay,
this
no
is
worries.
so Kevin made it, but you guys will at least be able to read it for the purpose of what I'm wanting to do. This slide, I told Kevin, I thought this was such a genius way to frame really social media and sales. Okay. What we have to understand is that there's 3 layers to this. There's external, internal, and there's philosophical. So external is the obvious surface level problem your customer faces, right? It might just be that they want to lose weight or get fit. Internal, the emotional struggle behind the external issue. So if they might want to because they feel overwhelmed or they're frustrated or they're unsure if they're going to succeed actually losing weight or getting fit. Then the philosophical is the deeper sense of injustice or belief at stake. So I should be able to do this on my own. Why can't I? Right. And he even gave an example down here. So let's say that this fictional client, Russ, his external is weight loss. His internal is he's never been an athlete. And so he didn't know if he could actually lose weight how he wanted. He didn't know if it was even in the cards for him. And his philosophical is he wants to be a better dad and leader for his family. So as you're posting on social media, as you're crafting these stories, what you're trying to do is be the guide that's helping this person, this hero, right? Your prospect, the client, Russ, go from he just wants to lose weight, helping him navigate all the things he can run into because he's never been an athlete. And that's why his little, he's talking himself out of doing all these things, and the philosophical of this goal back here. This is why this is really important, because you want to be a better dad and a leader for your family. And you're helping him become that hero, which is better dad, leader in his family. Same thing is going to happen on sales calls as well. Is anytime you hop on a sales call, there's these 3 layers to the sales call to that other person that you're talking to. And they're probably going to lead with just the external. And so the reason why we have the discovery phase and the reason why we kind of probe and ask the questions that we ask is because we need to get to the internal. Why are you not doing this right now? What are the excuses you're telling yourself? What's the story you're telling yourself? And we also need to understand the philosophical. What's the thing that is really motivating you? Why do you really want this thing that you're going for?
Yeah.
So I think it's just a super, super powerful kind of reframe. And I wanted to share that because I made everyone screenshot it on the call, because I just, that is everything. It's everything in storytelling. It's everything in social media. It's everything in sales. So that, I guess, is my my recap of the social call this week and the kind of important keynote type of things that Kevin went over there. Let's transition on that sales note to you, Felicity.
Fabulous. No, yeah, that's a great transition, because on our sales call this week, we went over first some wins that we just had, as well as we dove into the money objection, because this is an objection or obstacle that people give all the time. And one thing that Steph brought up is that it's, yes, money, but they will always find the funds. Kind of going back to what you were talking about, like you have these 3 sections, and like they'll lead with the external of like, I don't have enough money, because like an easy like get off the call, like let me go. However, it's a lot more internal. And one of the things that Steph brought up that I think was absolute gold when it comes to like handling this is that if you don't exude the, I think that's the right word, the absolute most confidence when it comes to having these sales calls, people are going to automatically gear towards that money objection, because they don't feel like they're confident on the call with you. And it's all based off of you. So if someone gives you an obstacle or an objection that you might have already handled, or something that you need to overcome, it's usually because of you and you not being able to either overcome it in the first place, or they're trying to get off the call because you did something throughout that sales process that made them feel uncomfortable, or made them not feel like you are 100% there to be able to help them. And a few ways that Steph brought up to get around this is that, first, of course, like, do a double tie down. Make sure that it is the money. So, like, all right, do you believe that this, like, my coaching offer or this is going to help you? Yes. All right. Do you think that I'm the right coach for you? And then, like, what's preventing you from like continuing forward? Because a lot of the time it will actually pull out something else underneath. Maybe they're just concerned, like, I don't know if I'm able to do this. I don't know if this is the right fit for me. And a lot of the times that money objection, again, is just a veil that they're putting, or a front that they're putting out behind like the internal underneath.
Yeah.
And one thing too, we were bringing up some things that like some people were experiencing inside of our community and some of our clients were experiencing. And one of the problems that were faced was like one of the questions that came about this is like, how much do you push after someone expresses their concern? Like, how long? And I don't think how long is necessarily the question to be asked here. It's how does the other person feel? Because after you talk to someone enough, you don't want to extend that call for 30, 40 minutes on that one like issue, because then they're going to feel uncomfortable, they're going to have a bad taste in their mouth, they're probably never going to come back around. And so with that being said, one of the points that I made that I like to do on sales calls when I ever get objections and people just typically just get like, it's like you're constantly hitting that wall, is to actually back off yourself. Just be like, all right, so I guess it doesn't look like we're going to be a good fit, but it's okay if there's ever comes a point in your life that you have enough money or whatever that objection is. A lot of the times you backing off is going to have them pull into you.
Hmm.
And don't be afraid to do that, especially if you're constantly feeling like you're hitting that wall and you're like, all right, how much longer am I going to try to objective handle or objective? I cannot say this word for the life of me this week. I talked about it to another client. I was like, oh, well, I give up. You know what I'm trying to say. But after you keep hitting that wall, it's like back off a little bit. See if they start pulling in, because a lot of the times that can actually help as well. But those were a few of the main points that we brought up on the sales call. I know we've covered money objections before inside of our YouTube live, so definitely go back and research that if you guys are looking for a more in-depth version of going over that specific objection. There's the word.
It
Um,
is.
but that's just a few things that we covered, and I thought it was a really good call, and we had a lot of fun talking and discussing amongst the group.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the pullback can be a very, very, very effective technique, because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, somebody's getting on a call with you because they want to work with you, and there is just something innately um, powerful from somebody that you do look up to or you do want to work with when they start to be like, I don't know if we should work together. Where
Mhm.
you kind of go, whoa, wait a second, I want that to be my choice.
Yeah.
Please, can we work together? Like,
Yeah.
and so it's just something. It's just like the day that people always make in this particular objection. People always make the reference to, it's like the attractive person that you're trying to date, and you're like maybe not interested in, but as soon as they reject you, you're kind of like, whoa, wait a second. Now
Hold on.
I kind of want to come back to you. Like, why are we doing that? I don't want to be rejected. It's the same psychological kind of factors at play there. So that is a
Yeah.
really, really effective thing. And we've even had clients before where they've said that they've gotten to the point now, and maybe you are at this point in your business, maybe you're not, right? But where if somebody within 30 minutes is not basically asking to pay, then they essentially say like, hey, it doesn't seem like this is gonna work out. I think we go ahead and go our separate ways. I know that if we get off this call and you haven't like gone ahead and committed, there's like a 2% chance that you're ever going to come back to me. So it was great meeting you. I want to go ahead and move on to my next call now, but appreciate your time. And then at that point, a lot of times they said either someone will get out and you will never talk to them again because you probably weren't going to anyways. When people say like, I just got to think about it and I'll get back to you. Typically, like he's right. 2% of people typically come back on that. But it also a lot of times will make the person be like, whoa, no, I'm not one of those 98% that's not, I'm ready. Like, I'm going to do this. I just have to, it's like, okay, well then let's do something right now physically, right? When you take a physical action about some sort of a decision, that is going to innately make you want to change quicker. That's going to commit you that much faster and that much deeper. So I really like that idea of the
Yeah.
pullback.
Mhm. I do actually have one more thing that we did talk about. I have it on my notes here, is having a visual aid in your sales too. If you guys don't already have this, please incorporate this. It is such a crucial piece to people's sales process that a lot of people overlook. And when I mean visual aid, I mean something like a video of you speaking, a pre-call sales video, even a Canva document where they go through and they see a bunch of your testimonials, because it warms them up and it keeps them warm before that sales call. Maybe your sales call is not in another 3 days from now. And what are they going to do? They're going to start thinking about, oh, like what Mike says all the time. It's like people are ready to buy when they look in the mirror, but then immediately change their mind as soon as they walk past the pantry. It's the same concept. Like within 3 days, they're going to walk past the pantry and they're not going to be interested anymore. And they're going to start to think, it's not worth it. Like I'm just going to stay at this wait for forever. Or I'll try it on my own. And having a pre-call sales video, if you can send it out via the confirmation of that um the call itself, and then also double check and make sure, and we have this capability inside of the software itself where we can see if someone's clicked on the video or not. But with that being said, having it sent out again like an hour before the call, it's going to be a game changer when it comes to the sales calls, because people are going to be coming on a lot more warmed up. They're going to be seeing a lot more of you. They'll have that extra time with you, so to speak. It's very much like people watching you on social media. So incorporating some sort of visual aid where it's like you going through a slideshow of all your testimonials and talking a little bit about the program. It doesn't even have to be long, 5-10 minutes maybe, helps drastically. That was something else that we did bring up in the sales call that I think a lot of coaches need to start utilizing inside of their confirmation or
Yeah.
flows.
And I mean, many of you guys probably don't know this, but I still do close for my own coaching company, and I don't do the coaching anymore, but I do the closing still. And one thing that helped out a ton with call show up rates and the receptiveness to me hopping on when they're planning on working with somebody else, like my sister or our other business partner, Jermaine, is having a video of myself and their coach that they want to work with just right before the call. So it's like they booked a call, it redirects them to a page, and it texts them the link to this page. It's like, hey, watch this before your call. And all that video is introducing who is Baker, why are we going to talk, what they can expect on the call. Don't be in the car. Let's be, sit down in front of a computer, ready to actually talk and dive into these 3 things. And then I always ask, first question whenever they get on a call with me, did you watch the video that was sent over? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Just make sure you know who I am. And then we cut through a ton of the BS that we would have to start with if they didn't already have that context of who I am, why I'm here, what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Plus, they don't get in the call. I've even had people, because a lot of times, since my schedule is so busy, I end up like going to the gym and then coming outside in the middle of my workout or right after my workout and taking my call in the car, not while driving, obviously, but like setting up my laptop in the car and taking the call. And I've had people be like, hey, aren't we supposed to not be in the car? And I'm like, I'm not driving. So I'm sitting here. I'm outside the gym trying to get my workout in. You're with the right team. But it's kind of cool when they want to hold you accountable too. And they watch to the detail of, I want to respect his time. Is he respecting mine? I'm like, yes, I am. I promise.
Hands off the wheels.
Yeah.
Sit in the back of the car.
Exactly. Yeah. Sit in the back seat. Actually, I'm in an Uber, so it's cool. But yeah, so those pre-call videos are great for setting the scene, setting the expectations, and again, making sure that nobody's going to waste anybody's time.
Yeah. And even going back to like the call that we recapped for Austin Medlin, he was like, your rapport building should be like 30 seconds. That pre-call sales video will make that happen. Guaranteed.
Yep. Absolutely.
I love it.
Awesome. All right. Well, that is this week's group of calls for our social media and sales trainings. We did give out a couple of resources. We made another GPT bot, which we might drip out to our YouTube community if you guys are nice. But we try to keep everybody armed with everything they need to be successful in the realms of social media, sales, and obviously software, right? The three S's. So if you guys did get any value out of this, we would love to earn your subscription. Press that subscribe bell. And then moving on from here on out, we're going to be putting out way more long form YouTube content alongside of these lives and sometimes even in place of these lives. So we're really excited about that, but be on the lookout for that next Friday and the Fridays after that. So thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Have a great week.
See y'all.